Good morning, Bucknutters. Welcome to the Bucknuts Morning 5 here on Wednesday, November 11th, 2015. I am Dave Biddle, and I'm very happy to be joined by the one and only Duane Long, who is recovering from shoulder surgery, but we're hoping to get him back to 100% here soon. Duane, thank you for your time. Obviously, the college football playoff rankings came out last night, and Clemson's still number 1, no surprise there. Bama number 2, jumping Ohio State at number 3. I don't think that's a surprise. I predicted Bama would jump Ohio State. Notre Dame at number 4. We'll get to the others in a moment. But just that top 4, what are your thoughts, Duane? Do you have a problem with Bama jumping Ohio State? What are your thoughts on Notre Dame being 4th, the Buckeyes 3rd? Just what do you want to say about the top 4?
I don't have a problem with it. I actually was asked the question earlier in the week, and I was thinking I got down. I picked Ohio State, Alabama, and Clemson, and then I debated whether to go with Baylor or Notre Dame, and it's Buckeye fans are going to hate that because the only thing that Ohio State fans hate almost as much as Michigan is Notre Dame. But Notre Dame has played well enough. Notre Dame belongs in that at least the top 5, whether they make it into the 4 or not. And we're all still skeptical of Baylor, aren't we? We're just not ready to give Baylor the nod, especially with the quarterback out. So, I think that's solid. I don't have any problem with that top 4 at all.
An interesting development was Iowa at number 5. That was a surprise to me. I didn't even think about that. I just thought Iowa would move up a couple spots. I did not think that they would be knocking on the door to be in the top 4 like they are. Number 5, the first team out. If Iowa wins out, they are in. There's no doubt about that. What's also interesting, Duane, is the Big 12, they are not in a good position. I thought Oklahoma State would move up more than they did. They're only at 8th. As you mentioned, Baylor, no one sold on Baylor, and I think rightfully so. They're soft on defense. Now they're down to a true freshman quarterback. Yeah, he's a good true freshman quarterback. He's not as good as Seth Russell, who's a junior who got hurt, who's out for the season. What's interesting, Duane, is if Clemson, Bama, Ohio State, or Iowa, and Notre Dame win out, Big 12, doesn't matter if one of their team wins out. They're not going to be in. You know what I mean? If Clemson wins out, Bama wins out, Ohio State wins out, and Notre Dame wins out, those are going to be your 4 teams. So the Big 12 is going to be on the outside looking in again.
But it still is a thing that the conference just, you look at Oklahoma and then you start saying, okay, everybody else is suspect. We talk about the Big 10 so much with that, but there's still it's more competitive top to bottom than the Big 12 is. And like you said, the 2 big things is Oklahoma State with their big performance and Iowa. What has Iowa done that they've gotten this much respect? I mean, what is their signature win, Dave? Before they beat Nebraska. What's that?
Northwestern would be their signature win. Yeah.
And before that, it was Nebraska, who I think they were 4-6 or 3-6, something like that. Nebraska just I don't know how Iowa sneaks in there, especially above Oklahoma State. That just doesn't make any sense to me. So the top 4 there are solid. After that, Iowa. Wow.
Exactly.
It just makes you say, because I think Ohio State runs them off the field. I think Ohio State runs them off the field with Braxton Miller not throwing a pass, playing quarterback. Iowa just hasn't impressed me at all year. And I've seen them, and Northwestern has been up and down. Northwestern, they play great against Stanford, a real signature win for them. And then they get they've been run off the field themselves. So you don't know what you have in Northwestern either. So Iowa, I'm just not sold. Oklahoma State, I'm more sold on than Iowa.
Yeah, if you're an Ohio State fan, which you are if you're listening to this show, it really doesn't matter. Win out, the Buckeyes are in, and I don't think seeding really matters. Like, for example, if Ohio State was the number 4 seed and they got to play number 1 Clemson, I would like that more than if Ohio State was a number 3 seed and had to play number 2 seed Bama, just because of the revenge factor. I think Bama is the second best team. I think they're a better team than Clemson. You look at the Vegas knows what they're talking about. Vegas odds, Ohio State has the highest odds to win. Bama is second, Clemson is third. So I don't think seeding matters in the college football playoff. Just get in. If Ohio State wins out, they are in. This is fun to talk about the college football playoff rankings. It's fun for the media and fans to debate, but for Ohio State, it doesn't even matter at this point. And shockingly for Iowa, it doesn't even matter if they win out, they're in. And then there's 4 other Big Ten teams that are in the top 25. Michigan State checks in at 13th. Michigan is 14th. Northwestern is 18th. And Barry Alvarez's Wisconsin Badgers are 25th. You know, Barry was going to get them on there if he could.
You know, you have to look at this. You know, as you said, Iowa wins out, they're in, and that means they've beaten Ohio State in the Big Ten championship game. That's just mind-boggling to me that Iowa could be that just win out and they play for the they're in the playoffs. A couple of points, like you said, I think Ohio State's my number 1, and that's just not in my heart. When Ohio State's firing on all cylinders, it's the best team in the country, and Bama's number 2. I have Clemson number 3. So, yeah, I agree with you on that. And the fact is, it's not really a thing to worry about because you're going to have to play 2 of the top 3 anyway, 2 of the other 3 teams anyway. So just get in the top 4. But I believe Ohio State's number 1, Alabama 2, Clemson 3, and I can go with Notre Dame number 4. That's fine.
Urban Meyer was on the Big Ten teleconference yesterday, had some few notable items that he released to the media. J.T. Barrett's still going to be a captain. That's no surprise to me. I would have been shocked if they stripped him of his captaincy. Tommy Schutt, as we reported in the boarding house on Monday, Tommy Schutt will return this week. No word if he's going to start, but they're going to put that big club on his hand. He had the fractured wrist. He played the Penn State game with the wrist fracture, then had surgery the following week during the bye week. So Tommy Schutt's going to be back to add some depth there at D-tackle again. I'm not sure if he'll start, but they're going to try and get him to play. He's from the state of Illinois, so his last chance going back there to play. It's not like he's from Champaign, but you know he's from more the Chicagoland area. But still, his last chance to play in the state of Illinois. They're going to try and get him out there. And then Marcus Ball has been out there a lot, as we've seen. We've seen number 85 out there a lot. But he hasn't just been playing tight end, Duane. He's been playing H-back. Now, Urban, I think, there's 2 different H-backs on this offense. There's the traditional H-back, like Marcus Ball is playing right now, that hybrid tight end fullback. And then he calls wingbacks H-backs, which I know gets under your skin. It's like he calls like Braxton Miller an H-back and then, you know, Marcus Ball an H-back. But those are not the same kind of H-backs. I just wanted to clarify that for the listeners. I know a lot of people are confused. But just your thoughts on all that stuff, Duane. Barrett's remaining captain, Tommy Schutt coming back this week, Marcus Ball playing a lot and playing some H-back for the Buckeyes.
Well, I'm just going to have to say that I understand Schutt's a senior, you want to play him, but Michael Hill had a fine football game, and we had our best run defense effort last weekend against a team that, you know, they're not, Minnesota's not what they have been in recent years running the ball, but they're still a run-based team, and they're going to come right at you, and we shut them down. So I'm really hoping that Michael Hill's the one that's going to be in there. Let Tommy Schutt say goodbye, you know, finish out his career, let him play. But right now, I think we've got an upgrade at defensive tackle. Absolutely no way should Schutt play more than Hill, and he shouldn't start over Hill. As far as the H-back thing, yeah, it drives me crazy. H-back is a tight end fullback hybrid, and the H-back that it's a wingback. It's traditional. It's right there in the record books. You know, I don't know why we can't do that. But anyway, Marcus Ball has been playing really good, doing a lot of good blocking. He hasn't been making a lot of mistakes. I'd like to see him get the ball. That's where he was impressive as a high school guy. He was impressive as a receiver. And now if you've got a true H-back, a guy that can do those things that an H-back does, we need to exploit him. The thing is, you know, we talked about this was a running joke with all of us when Urban Meyer was a coach that we didn't throw to the tight end. We're throwing to the tight end less under Urban Meyer. I don't know why we're not taking advantage of the tight end. I'm really scared. If someone asks me the player that they think is going to defect from the recruiting class, I'm worried about Hausman and Farrell just looking at this and going, you got to be kidding me. I'm a glorified offensive tackle in this offense. Very concerned about them looking at what's going on the football field and saying, I don't know about this. But, yeah, Marcus Ball, he's playing well. He's doing a great job of blocking. If you go back over film and focus on him, he's been key to some big runs because he's consistent, he's technically sound, and he's doing his job. Let's throw him the ball.
Let's finish with recruiting, Duane. Buckeyes need a big D tackle in this 2016 class, and they're in on a few of them. One of them I want to focus on Dexter Lawrence. Our Bill Kurlick had a story on Dexter Lawrence on the site yesterday for subscribers. He is the number 2 defensive tackle in the country, the number 3 overall player in the country. He's a 5-star recruit, and it'll get much bigger than this guy, literally and figuratively. Seems like a dark horse, though, for Ohio State here, and that might be putting it mildly. Looking at the crystal ball, 50% have him going to Florida, 23% Florida State, and then there's other schools in the mix like North Carolina, NC State, and Clemson. Duane, do the Buckeyes have much of a shot here? He's going to take, Dexter Lawrence is going to take an official visit to Ohio State next week for the Michigan State game, so that's a good sign, but do the Buckeyes have a realistic chance here, Duane?
Well, I give Urban Meyer a chance with any guy he can get on campus. The guy's just an absolutely killer recruiter, and we do have this playing time here. Dave, next year we're going to be looking in daylight with a flashlight for a defensive tackle. So if you can convince this guy that, and he's a big enough kid, and he's such an immense talent. I've said repeatedly, this is the finest defensive tackle class I've ever seen in all my years of evaluating talent. It's incredible. He's one of the top 2 or 3, and to get that guy in this class, he's a big enough kid to play right away. Not a lot of them are. It would be enormous. It would be the coup of the recruiting class to get him into Columbus next year. So we got a shot, but dragging defensive linemen out of the South. It's why all of them come from it seems like they're all born in the South. And with the tradition down there of tackles going to the NFL, number 1, first-round draft picks, it's just hard. But we would absolutely, he would be the crowning achievement of the recruiting class, no doubt about it. Special talent, and he could help us right away.
Great stuff as always out of Duane Long. Get well soon, buddy. And really quick programming note here, we're going to interview Urban Meyer after practice tonight. That'll be around 6:30. We'll also get a few players after practice, so look for a story and a video on what Coach Meyer has to say, and look for stories, bullets, and videos on what the players have to say. Thanks again to Duane Long, and thanks to you, the listener, for tuning into the show. I appreciate it, and I hope you have a great day. Take it away, best damn band in the land.